Okay, so let's talk about timers. Timers have very many purposes, and actually they're defined in many ways. They can be used in many different ways. Let's just do a simple timer countdown, where it starts at a high number and goes backwards, and it looks like it's going down towards zero, where something apparently is going to happen at zero, and it adds a sense of urgency to your game. It's pretty simple to do. As always, it's going to need a variable to make it happen. So if you go to the top of your code, where all your other variables are up here, just like we have score and speed and level and all these things, let's make another one for timers. You can call it whatever you like. Timer is probably as good as anything, but you can have timer 1. You can have multiple timers. You can have timer 1 or timer 2 or timer countdown, whatever you want to do. You can do whatever you like. I'm going to start this one. We'll start it and at some point just pick a number, and you'll kind of play with that to see what the number is. Keep in mind the computer is going to go down at about 60-ish per second. So you're going to go down in increments of 60. So if we start at 500, that's going to go down in a few seconds. So timer starts at 500. Okay, so if we ran this right now, timer would go to 500, it would display on the screen, and nothing would change, I believe. So if we look at our code here, timer is 500. There it is, and it just sits there. Okay, so to make it go backwards, in the same way that we increased when we move things, and we change the ZARGON x equals ZARGON x plus some quantity, we're just increasing the value of that variable. When we go to the left, we're decreasing the amount of that variable. When we get scores, we're simply increasing the value of a score variable. And so this is just a variable like that. It's a numeric variable exactly like those other ones, so all we need to do is change the value of that timer variable. And since it's starting at 500 and we want to go backwards, we're going to decrease it. We're going to decrease that. Timer equals timer minus 1 right there. Okay, and so if we run that to verify, and as we see if that actually works, we look at the value of timer, and it is in fact going down by 1. You can see that sense of urgency there. Okay, and when it gets down to 0, we're not stopping it necessarily, so it's just going to keep on going, but you could stop that, and hey, you might have something along the lines of, right underneath that, if timer equals 0, then you could do something at that point. Okay, so there's timers for you.